Now we will begin Part C with the first talk. Questions 39 through 42. Listen to an announcement on the radio.
As we head into hurricane season, we'd like to take this opportunity to go over some precautionary measures you can take in this dangerous season. This is especially important for those of you living in coastal areas where hurricanes can be destructive because of their heavy winds. The following guidelines have been established by the National Weather Service. Before hurricane season even begins, stock up on batteries, candles, bottled water, non-perishable food such as canned goods, and other emergency equipment. In case of a hurricane warning, following these safety guidelines may help save your life and property. First of all, protect windows with boards or tape, since they're not strong enough to withstand hurricane-force winds. These winds can reach up to 200 miles per hour. Also, the National Weather Service recommends that you fill up your car with fuel in case you need to evacuate. Gas stations may be closed by the time you need to leave your home. Remember also, it is suggested that you stay indoors if your home is sturdy and on high ground. However, homes in low-lying areas will likely be evacuated since flooding is a possibility. Listen to the radio for emergency weather reports and evacuation information. If called to evacuate, leave the area immediately. You will be advised of the locations of local shelters.
Number 39. What is the talk mainly about? Number 40. What organization provided the information for the announcement? Number 41. What should people do before hurricane season begins? Number 42. According to the announcement, why should people fill their cars with fuel before a hurricane? Questions 43 through 46. Listen to part of a lecture in a United States history class.
In the days before telephones, radio, and television, the only network of public communication that could reach farmers was the mail. But this wasn't the mail as we know it today. At that time, in the early 19th century, mail delivery was uneven and widely scattered. In fact, many people living in rural areas got no mail at all. In the early decades of the century, mail carriers were privately employed. They did not work for the government. Many years later, when the government finally took charge of delivering mail, it was mostly in cities that mail got delivered to people's homes. So farmers still had a problem. They had to go to a post office to collect their mail, which, by the way, wasn't always nearby. Farmers' requests to have mail brought to their homes were at first met with outrage. What could be more ridiculous, many urban residents asked, than paying government employees to travel miles across the countryside with an occasional letter? Nevertheless, farmers' organizations succeeded in convincing the United States Congress that farmers needed mail delivery. Finally, in 1891, rural free delivery, known as RFD, came into being. In a sense, rural free delivery was the most important communications revolution in United States history. Rural Americans were now lifted out of the relatively isolated communities they lived in. Because of rural free delivery, there now ran a highway to the world from every farmer's doorstep.
Number 43. What does the speaker mainly discuss? Number 44. What is true of mail delivery in the early 19th century? Number 45. According to the speaker, what problem did farmers face with early mail service? Number 46. How did many city residents react when farmers first requested mail delivery? Questions 47 through 50. Listen to a lecture in an earth science class.
Today I'd like to explain the Mohs scale, used in what is called the scratch test. This scale is based on the simple fact that harder minerals scratch softer ones. For example, a diamond scratches glass, but glass doesn't scratch a diamond. A quartz crystal can scratch a feldspar crystal, but not the other way around. The scale is named for Friedrich Mohs, the mineralogist who devised it in 1812. His scale spans the range of minerals known at that time, from the softest to the hardest. By performing a scratch test using known minerals and a few common tools, an unidentified mineral sample can be placed between 2 points on the scale. By referring to the scale, the mineral can then be identified. I have here a collection of the minerals included on the Mohs scale, as well as the tools necessary to complete this exercise. I'd like you each to take a mineral sample from the basket at the front of the room and classify it according to its place on the Mohs scale. First, however, I should give you a little warning. The hardness of any mineral depends on the strength of the bonds between ions or between atoms. The stronger the bond, the harder the mineral. Because bond strength may differ in various angles of a crystal, the hardness may vary slightly depending on the direction in which the mineral sample is scratched. So be sure to scratch each sample in several different directions.
Number 47. What is the lecture mainly about? Number 48. What aspect of a mineral is the Mohs scale used to identify? Number 49. What does the teacher ask the class to do? Number 50. According to the teacher, when might the hardness of the same mineral seem to vary? This is the end of Section 1, Listening Comprehension. Stop work on Section 1.